For most people, Mark Twain is the cheerful author behind The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. He's remembered as America's greatest humorist, a man who made millions laugh with his wit and satire. But behind that famous white suit and clever smile was a life marked by tragedy, financial ruin, and deep personal darkness. This is the side of Mark Twain that many people never hear about. Samuel Langhorne Clemens, better known as Mark Twain, was born in 1835. His childhood was far from idyllic. When he was just 11 years old, his father died, forcing him to leave school and work to support his family. As a young man, Twain witnessed violence that haunted him. While working as a printer and later as a riverboat pilot, he saw deadly accidents. He saw drownings and even murders. One traumatic incident involved seeing the mutilated body of a man after a steamboat explosion. Experiences like these left emotional scars that rarely appeared in his humorous writing. Then came the American Civil War. Twain briefly joined a Confederate militia, but abandoned it after only a couple of weeks. Yet the conflict and the nation's divisions deeply influenced his later writings about human cruelty and hypocrisy. By the late 1800s, Twain had become one of the most famous writers in the world, earning fortunes from lectures and publishing. But success didn't protect him from disaster. Twain became obsessed with investing in new technologies. His biggest mistake was pouring an enormous amount of money into the page compositor, a machine designed to replace typesetters. Instead, it became one of the greatest investment failures. The machine was constantly breaking down, and costs kept rising. Twain lost nearly everything. By 1894, he was bankrupt. Rather than walk away from his debts, he embarked on an exhausting worldwide lecture tour in his late 50s. He eventually repaid every creditor in full, believing his reputation mattered more than his finances. Financial hardship, however, was only part of his suffering. His beloved daughter Susie died from meningitis while Twain was overseas. Later, his wife Olivia died after years of illness. Another daughter, John, died suddenly on Christmas Eve in 1909. One by one, the people closest to him disappeared. The famous humorist became increasingly cynical and pessimistic. His later works abandoned light-hearted tones. Books like The Mysterious Stranger questioned whether humanity possessed free will at all. He once remarked that the human race was capable of infinite cruelty and foolishness. He had lost much of his faith in people. Perhaps the most haunting coincidence involved Halley's Comet. Twain was born shortly after the comet appeared in 1835. Late in life, he famously predicted that he would go out with Halley's Comet. Remarkably, he did. The comet returned in April 1910, and Mark Twain died just one day after its closest approach to Earth. Today, we remember Twain for his humor. But behind every joke was a man who battled grief, failure, and disappointment, using laughter not because life was easy, but because sometimes it was the only way to survive. Subscribe to Literature Literally for more literary mysteries, forgotten lives, and the truths behind the legends.